Okay, there is something that's absolutely wild that's happening to mid level professionals all across the United States. And I thought it was just me. Like I'd hit my ceiling at Nike, and I thought that I just couldn't go any further because it was a skill issue or an interviewing issue or a networking issue. But what I am finding out and what I want to do on this video today is share with you what I'm seeing in the marketplace. I take 20 to 25 calls per week with high level professionals all across the United States from all kinds of industries. And I just want to share the shocking results with you because it has literally changed my perception on everything. And I'm going to share that with you here. All right, so for those of you that don't know me, my name's Dustin Neff. I am what I consider an anti career coach. I help people identify their fastest way out of corporate America. And my goal is to help them replace their salary in 90 to 180 days by identifying which vehicle they should go in. And for most, the quickest way out is consulting. But we'll go into that a little further in a bit. But right now, like I said, I've been taking 20 to 25 calls per week, and I've been absolutely blown away with what I'm hearing out in the marketplace. So the way that corporate America to me is structured, it's like a triangle. So when the higher you go up, the less room you've got to move up. And basically, there's three things that I'm seeing that are happening to people. One is they're tired of building a business for somebody else when they know that they can make much more and then be much more satisfied with building their own business. All right, two, people hit a ceiling and there's nowhere else to go. And I experienced this, and in a minute, I will share my experience and what your options are if that happens. Okay, and then number three, they see what's happening in the marketplace, how people are losing their job, and AI is automating things, and there's less and less jobs, and they see the writing on the wall, and they want to get ahead of the curve. So I'm also going to share what the smart professionals out there are doing. So let's take number one. So people hit their ceiling, or they're just tired. They're tired of building a business for somebody else. And I'm a perfect example. I took a big promotion in 2020, and I grew a business from $11 million to $16 million, from making $0 profit to $3 million profit. And do you know what I got? I got a $2,000 raise and I don't know, $10,000 or $15,000 bonus on growing a business $3 million. So, I had a call with a guy, like really high level sales, and same thing. I mean, the dude's making, I don't know, $700,000 a year. And he is so frustrated that he is building somebody else's business instead of, he has all the skills that he knows, and he knows the business. He knows how to go out on his, does not know how to go out on his own, but he knows that he can take that same skill and build his own business and really build something for the long term for him instead of getting, highly compensated. There's no doubt about it. But, he knows that there's more to it. Like he can do more for himself and his family. All right. So number two, people are hitting a ceiling and there's nowhere else for them to go. And I'm going to walk you through the three steps that are out there. So step one is you can just figure out what's holding you back. Like for me at Nike, it was interviewing, and I figured that piece out. And I did get promotion after promotion. I got 3 promotions in less than 2 years, and I tripled my income. But after a year, or roughly, you keep hitting that same ceiling. And when you hit that first ceiling, okay, I hit a ceiling and there was nowhere for me to go up there. It's like, well, let me try a different part of the business. So I go and I pass people that had been in their industry for 15, 20 years. And it was great. But I didn't know what was going on for the first 3 months. And then, I got buy-in from my team and I figured some things out. But ultimately there was nowhere else for me to go. So kind of saw the writing on the wall there, wanted to move back to Little Rock. So I went to a Fortune 100 company, and I was going to go to whoever paid me the most money. And, I had tremendous results. Like I took a $41 million business that was down $1 million and increased it by $1 million. So a $2 million flip I was absolutely crushing it. But once again, I'd hit my ceiling. I didn't have all the knowledge that I needed to have long-term success. So I was looking for quick wins and make sure that I got my bonuses. But ultimately, I'd hit my ceiling there, and I knew it. And so that's when I started looking at other businesses. But if you're staying in corporate America, that's the three avenues you can go. You can either work your way up to the next role, figure out what that is. Number two, you can try a different position in the same company. Odds are, if you're skilled, you will have success, but after 6 months to a year, you're going to hit a ceiling. Or you can try a different company, and the learning curve there is a lot harder, I'll say that, but still, you're still going to hit a ceiling. So the third way, or the third thing that people are doing, is they're building their own business. They recognize that they have a high value skill or skills that they can use in the consulting space and teach people. So for me, I started doing career coaching after I left corporate America, because that was my favorite part of working with Nike, was developing people and helping them get promoted. So it's like, well, let me just focus on this full time. And great results. But what I was seeing in the marketplace was people no longer wanted to move up in corporate America. They wanted to build their own thing and have freedom. They wanted to be in control of their schedule. They wanted to be in control of how much money they could earn. And, for me, going into the ice cream vending space, and don't laugh, or you can laugh if you want, it's fine. I started doing consulting in that world, and I started traveling all across the United States. I mean, I was in Alaska, I was in Detroit, I was in Boston, I was in Dallas, Las Vegas, the Grand Canyon. So really, really amazing experiences. And when I started doing that, people started reaching out to me, hey, I want to do what you're doing. So that let me know right there, in the career coaching space, I felt like I was chasing people. When I started doing consulting on my own, as far as business consulting, people were like, they were attracted to me and they wanted to do what I was doing. They wanted that freedom. And that's when I knew there was something there. So I switched from career coaching to anti-career coaching, and it's an absolute game changer. And the market it's crazy right now. And I knew that, anti-career coaching would kind of be polarizing, but the reaction has been amazing. Like, people, when they get on the phone with me, they're like, man, I saw some of your ads, or I saw your YouTube content. You're speaking to exactly what I'm going through. And I'll share something real quick that may or may not help, but like for me, like red flag number one when I was in corporate America was, I had my son's first day of school. So we moved back to Little Rock, and I'd been in my role like 2 weeks or something, but I knew what the culture was, and I knew that you cannot not be there. You have to be on like 80 hours a week. But I snuck out, and I remember telling myself, this just does not feel right. I should have, I don't live to work. I work to live. I want to be a great dad, and I have no freedom. And the second thing was, my wife told me, like, after, I don't know, 5 months, like, you're home early today. And it was 5:15. I'd been at work since 6 a.m. I was like, well, this is the time that I get off. And she's like, well, I've never seen you home this early. And she told me, like, look, we got to figure something out. Like, we did not move back here to be around, our support system, all of our friends, for you to work 80 hours a week. And I've always prided myself on being in great shape, and like my health was fading. I was stressed, and, the final straw was, getting written up after I'd been on vacation, despite being in the top 1 sales % increase in the company. And, the real, I guess, the kicker was when I was told, after leaving my career at Nike for 19 years, go to this new company. And my boss told me, like, look, if I had to be honest with you, it's probably a mistake for me to hire you. And man, I just replayed that in my mind, and I know really what it was. Like, he's under a lot of pressure, wanted me to be a micromanager. I'm just not. But I told him, I was like, man, I can be, but I just can't work for somebody that says that to me. And Yeah, so I quit cold turkey, not really knowing what the next step was, and told my wife, and she was pretty pissed off the next day, to be honest with you. But we looked at a lot of different things, and that's what led me on this journey. And, you know, I, I just wanted to hop on here and tell you, if you are feeling the way that I felt, or that the way these people are feeling all across the United States, you're not alone. And if you need help, reach out to me. I've been through it. I've helped people, you know, go through this situation. So I'll put a description, or yeah, link in the description. Hit me up, leave a comment. But that's it. I just wanted to get on here and, I'm having all these conversations. I didn't want to keep it to myself because it's pretty wild and eye opening when you feel like it's just you. But when you realize it is a major issue all across the United States, and a lot of people are worried, they don't know what to do next, just know that there are tools and there are people out there that can help. And if this resonates with you, watch some of my other content, reach out. But that's it for this video. And that is what I am hearing after talking to 80 people in the last 30 days. That's what's going on in the marketplace. And if you need help with it, reach out, let me know. But that's it. If you want to watch some of my other content, check out this video here. I think it'll give you some more clarity. And other than that, talk to you soon.